The Samsung buzzed against the concrete floor of our laundry room at 2:15 a.m., and I knew immediately it wasn't mine. I stood there in my boxers, staring at the cracked screen lighting up with a message preview. Can't wait to feel you again tomorrow. Same hotel. My hand trembled as I picked up the phone, still warm from the dryer cycle, and watched 3 more messages populate the screen from a contact saved simply as J. My wife Amanda was upstairs, supposedly asleep. The same woman who'd kissed me goodnight 4 hours ago. The same woman I'd been married to for 11 years. The mother of our 2 daughters. The phone buzzed again. Your husband still clueless? LOL. I sat down hard on the laundry room floor, my back against the washing machine. The phone wasn't password protected, probably because she never intended for me to find it. I opened the messaging app with a sick feeling spreading through my chest. The texts went back 6 months. 6 months. Photos, too. Nothing explicit, thank God, but enough. Amanda in lingerie I'd never seen. Amanda at restaurants I'd never been to. Amanda laughing in someone's car, the photo taken from the driver's seat. I scrolled up, my throat tightening with each swipe. The messages were detailed, specific. Tuesdays and Thursdays when I worked late at the firm. The Marriott on Peachtree Street. Room service orders. Plans to tell him eventually, but not yet. This is too good. My name is David Patterson. I'm 42 years old, a senior partner at Patterson & Levy, one of Atlanta's most prestigious accounting firms. I'd built my career on attention to detail, on noticing the small discrepancies that others missed. The irony wasn't lost on me that I'd missed this. I checked the timestamps. Thursday nights. My standing late meetings with our biggest client. Tuesday afternoons, when Amanda said she had book club. The precision of it made my stomach turn. This wasn't some spontaneous affair. This was calculated, scheduled, routine. I opened the photo gallery. 37 pictures. I counted them twice. Screenshots of their conversations like she was keeping trophies. Selfies of them together. His face always cropped out, but I could see enough. Younger than me. Thicker hair. Better jawline. One photo stopped me cold. It was taken in our house, in our kitchen. I recognized the backsplash we'd installed last summer, the one Amanda had spent 3 weeks picking out. She was wearing my favorite sundress, the yellow one, and you could see the edge of our family photo in the background, the one from our vacation to Hilton Head. He'd been in my house. I stood up, legs unsteady, and checked the metadata on the photo. 2 weeks ago. A Tuesday. The girls had been at school. I'd been at the office working on the Pemberton audit, staying late because Amanda said she'd handle dinner. The phone buzzed again. You still there, baby? Don't ghost me now. I typed back, who is this? The 3 dots appeared immediately. Disappeared. Appeared again. Very funny. You okay? I asked who this is. The dots stopped. 30 seconds passed. Then, Amanda? I didn't respond. I was already moving, taking the stairs 2 at a time, the burner phone clenched in my fist. Our bedroom door was open. Amanda was sprawled across our king-size bed, her auburn hair fanned across the pillow. She looked peaceful, innocent. Amanda. She stirred, mumbled something. Amanda, wake up. Her eyes opened, confused and bleary. David, what time is it? I held up the phone. Want to tell me about Jay? I watched the color drain from her face in real time. It would have been fascinating if it weren't destroying my life. Her eyes went from sleepy to alert to terrified in about 3 seconds. Where did you? The dryer. You left it in your jeans pocket. I unlocked the screen and started reading. Can't stop thinking about Tuesday. You taste like honey. That's poetic. Who knew you inspired such literature? She sat up, pulling the covers to her chest like modesty mattered now. David, please. 6 months. My voice sounded strange to my own ears. flat, distant. I counted. The first message is from March 14th. That was 2 days after our anniversary. Remember our anniversary, Amanda? We went to Bones. You wore that black dress. I gave you diamond earrings. I can explain. He's been in our house. I pulled up the kitchen photo. 2 weeks ago, Tuesday, April 9th. Where were our daughters? They were at school, David. I would never. Never what? Never cheat on me? Never bring your lover into our home? Never lie to my face for half a year? I was shouting now. I never shouted. Which line are you drawing, Amanda? Help me understand where your moral boundaries are because I'm having trouble seeing them. She was crying. I noted this with the same detached precision I used for audits. Tears streaming down her face, shoulders shaking, hands trembling. It just happened, she whispered. No. I sat down in the armchair across from the bed, putting distance between us. Car accidents just happen. Spilling coffee just happens. This, I gestured with the phone. This took planning, coordination, lies, so many lies. I'm sorry. Who is he? She looked down at her hands. Amanda. Who is he? His name is Justin. Justin Wheeler. He works at the gym. The gym. The membership she'd insisted on getting in January. For my New Year's resolution, she'd said. I'd paid for a full year upfront, premium package. I laughed. Actually laughed. It came out harsh and bitter. How old is he? That doesn't matter. How old? 29. 29, I was 42. We were 42. She was trading our marriage for a 29-year-old personal trainer. I set the burner phone down on the dresser, screen still glowing with those messages. The physical evidence, documented and preserved. My accountant's brain already categorizing, filing, preparing. I need you to leave, I say. Amanda's head snaps up. What? The guest room. Tonight. Now. My voice carries no inflection. I could be reading quarterly earnings. David, please, we need to talk about… We're done talking. I move to the closet, pull out my gym bag, dump the contents on the floor. You can use this. Toiletries, clothes for tomorrow, whatever you need. She doesn't move. Just sits there on the bed we've shared for 11 years, mascara streaking down her face. You're throwing me out of our bedroom? I'm choosing not to sleep next to someone who brought her lover into our home. I hand her the empty bag. While our daughters were downstairs? That lands. She flinches like I've slapped her. How many times? I ask. The question surprises even me. How many times was he here? I don't… How many times? Her hands twist the bag straps. 3. Maybe 4. Maybe? 4 times. Barely a whisper. And the girls were home for all of them? They were at school. I swear, David, they were always at school. I would never… You would never? The laugh that comes out of me sounds wrong, harsh. You already did, Amanda. You brought a stranger into our house, into the space where our children sleep and eat and live. He's not a stranger, he's… Don't. I hold up one hand. Don't you dare try to make this better by telling me you know him. That somehow makes it worse. She stands, clutching the gym bag. Where are we going to tell the girls I'm sleeping? We're not telling them anything. You'll be back in here before they wake up. We're going to maintain normalcy until I decide what happens next. What happens next? Her voice cracks. David, what does that mean? I look at her. Really look at her. The woman I married at 28. The woman who cried when each of our daughters was born. The woman who held my hand at my father's funeral and promised me we'd get through anything together. The woman who screwed a 29-year-old in a Marriott hotel every Tuesday and Thursday for 6 months. It means I need time to think without you in my space. I open the bedroom door. Guest room, now. She moves past me, and I catch the scent of her shampoo. The same brand she's used for years. Something about that detail. The mundane familiarity of it makes my chest tighten. The door closes behind her. I lock it. Then I stand there in the sudden silence, listening to her footsteps retreat down the hallway. My phone sits on the nightstand. My actual phone, not the burner. It's 3:47 a.m. In 3 hours, my alarm will go off. In 4 hours, I'll need to be showered and dressed. In 5 hours, I'll sit across from the Patterson and Levy partners and discuss the Grayson audit like my entire world hasn't just imploded. I should sleep. I should at least try. Instead, I pick up the burner phone again. The messages are still there. Still real. I scroll through them with the same methodical attention I'd give a financial statement. Looking for details I missed, patterns, evidence. There. A message from 3 weeks ago. Jay, can't wait to see you at the house again. Last time was incredible. Amanda, I know, but we have to be more careful. David's been asking why I'm going to the gym so much. Jay, tell him you're training for a 5K or something. Amanda, good idea, he'll buy that. She was right, I did buy it. Even offered to sponsor her entry fee. I keep scrolling. Further back. 5 months ago. Jay, your husband seems like a decent guy from what you've said. Amanda, he is. That's what makes this so complicated. Jay, you could always tell him, be honest. Amanda, and lose everything? The house, the girls half the time, the life we built? No, this is just for us. He doesn't need to know. Just for them. Their little secret. Their private world built in the margins of my ignorance. I find myself opening my regular phone, pulling up our family photos. There's one from last month, all 4 of us at Hilton Head. Amanda's wearing that blue sundress. The girls are building a sandcastle. I'm smiling at the camera, one arm around my wife. 2 days after that photo was taken, according to the burner phone, she met Justin at the Marriott. Room 847. They ordered champagne on my credit card. The irony would be funny if it didn't make me want to put my fist through the wall. Instead, I do what I do best. I organize. I open my laptop and create a new folder. Label it Documentation. Inside, I create subfolders: messages, photos, timeline, financial records. The burner phone connects to my laptop easily. I transfer everything. Every message, every photo, every piece of evidence. I organize them by date, cross-reference them with my work calendar, with our credit card statements. The pattern becomes clearer. Every Tuesday and Thursday I worked late. She was with him. But there were other times, too. Saturday afternoons when I took the girls to soccer practice. Sunday mornings when I went to the gym myself. The bitter irony of that isn't lost on me. I pull up our joint credit card statement. There, the gym membership. $99 a month since January. I scroll through the other charges. February 14th. Valentino's restaurant. $243. I remember that dinner. Our anniversary celebration, a week late because I'd been in Tampa for work. She'd worn the diamond earrings I bought her for Christmas, told me she loved me, meant it, as far as I could tell. February 16th. La Perla Boutique. $317. I don't recognize that charge. I click through to the itemized receipt in our online banking. Lingerie. Sizes and styles I've never seen her wear. My hands are shaking. I force them still. Keep going. Document everything. March 3rd. Whole Foods. $162. That was the dinner party we hosted. Partners from the firm and their wives. Amanda played the perfect hostess. Everyone complimented the meal, the wine selection, the ambiance. March 5th. Marriott Hotel. Room service. $87. I was in Charlotte that day. Called her from my hotel room around 9 p.m. She'd answered on the second ring, told me she was just putting the girls to bed. Her voice had been slightly breathless. I'd assumed she'd been running up the stairs. Now I know better. The sun is starting to rise. Gray light filters through the bedroom curtains. I've been at this for over an hour, and I've barely scratched the surface. My phone buzzes. A text from my partner, Robert Gaines. Early meeting moved to 8 a.m. Grayson's counsel wants to push the timeline. You good? I stare at the message. In what universe am I good? But I type back, I'll be there. Because that's what I do. I show up. I perform. I maintain the facade of normalcy even when everything is burning down around me. I hear movement in the hallway, small feet padding toward our bedroom. A soft knock. Daddy? Emma, our youngest, 6 years old and already too perceptive for her own good. I unlock the door, open it. She's standing there in her princess pajamas, holding her stuffed rabbit. Hey, sweetheart, you're up early. I heard noises. Is Mommy okay? I saw her going into the other bedroom. My mind races. Mommy wasn't feeling well. Didn't want to keep me awake with her tossing and turning. Emma nods, accepting this without question. The casual ease of her trust makes something crack inside my chest. Can I have breakfast? Sure, baby. Let me get dressed and I'll make you pancakes. Her face lights up. With chocolate chips? With chocolate chips. She scampers off toward the kitchen, and I close the door again. Stand there for a moment, forehead pressed against the wood. Pancakes. I'm going to make my daughter pancakes while my marriage disintegrates. While the evidence of my wife's betrayal sits organized in neat folders on my laptop. But that's what parents do. We show up. We make breakfast. We maintain the illusion that everything is fine, even when it's not. I get dressed. Dark suit, white shirt, conservative tie, the uniform of respectability. In the mirror, I look exactly like I always do, professional, composed, successful. No one would guess that 4 hours ago, I discovered my wife's affair. No one needs to know. Not yet. I head downstairs to make pancakes for my daughter, leaving the burner phone and all its secrets locked in my dresser drawer. I'm sitting in my home office at 11:47 p.m. on a Wednesday, 3 days after the dryer incident, scrolling through cloud storage files I didn't even remember we had. The baby monitor company sends everything to the cloud automatically. Some premium feature Amanda insisted we needed when Lily was born. For peace of mind, she'd said. The irony tastes like copper in my mouth. I'd been looking for something else entirely. Old tax documents I needed for a client comparison, when I stumbled across the folder labeled Nursery Cam 2019 Present. 15 months of continuous footage, organized by date and time, all automatically uploaded and archived. Lily's 3 now. We haven't used the monitor in over a year, but apparently nobody canceled the cloud subscription. I click on a random file from last October. The video loads, showing Lily's empty nursery in night vision green. The camera angle is wide, mounted on the wall opposite her crib. And there, in the upper right corner of the frame, I can see a sliver of the hallway. Just a sliver. Maybe 2 feet of visible space. But it's enough. I open my spreadsheet. The one I've been building for 3 days now, cross-referencing Amanda's book club nights and girls' dinners with my late nights at the office. I pick a date at random. October 14th. I was working late on the Patterson and Levy merger. Didn't get home until 11:30. I pull up October 14th in the cloud archive and start fast-forwarding through the evening footage. 7:43 p.m. Amanda puts Lily down. I can hear her voice through the monitor, singing the same lullaby she sang to Emma. The sick feeling in my chest intensifies. 8:15 p.m. The hallway's empty. 8:47 p.m. still empty. 9:23 p.m. A shadow crosses the frame. I stop. Rewind. Play at normal speed. A male figure walks past the nursery. Tall, athletic build, wearing what looks like a dark t-shirt. He's there for maybe 2 seconds, moving from the direction of the stairs toward our bedroom. Our bedroom. I note the timestamp in my spreadsheet. Then I keep watching. 9:56 p.m., he walks back the other way, toward the stairs. 10:34 p.m., he passes again, heading to the bedroom. 11:18 p.m., back toward the stairs. This time I can see he's pulling on a jacket. 11:27 p.m., Amanda appears in the hallway, also heading downstairs. She's wearing her blue robe, the silk one I bought her for our anniversary. I close the video. Open another date. November 3rd. Another Tuesday I worked late. Same pattern. Male figure, multiple trips past the nursery, always between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. November 19th. There again. December 1st. Present. I work backward through the files, my fingers moving with the same methodical precision I use for audits. Each date I check matches my spreadsheet. Every Tuesday and Thursday I worked late. He was there. Walking past my daughter's nursery, using my bathroom, sleeping in my bed. Then I reach June 17th and the timeline shifts. The figure appears at 2:37 p.m., middle of the afternoon. The girls would have been at school, Emma at kindergarten, Lily at preschool. But it's a Friday. I was definitely at the office. I watch him walk past the nursery 3 times over the next hour. Casual, comfortable, like he owned the place. I check more afternoon dates. June 24th, 3:15 p.m. July 8th, 1:45 p.m. July 22nd, 2:30 p.m. He wasn't just coming over when I worked late. He was coming over during the day, regularly. I pull up my calendar history, cross-referencing against the video timestamps. Every Friday afternoon I had client meetings downtown. He was in my house. Every Wednesday I had lunch with the partners. There he was. She had a schedule, a system. The burner phone was just one piece. She'd been running a full operation, tracking my movements, coordinating with him, maximizing their time together while minimizing risk. I open a file from August 5th, a Friday afternoon. The timestamp shows 2:47 p.m. The male figure walks past, and this time he's carrying something. I pause. Zoom in as much as the video quality allows. He's holding one of our wedding photos, the one that usually sits on the dresser in our bedroom. I watch as he walks back 3 minutes later, empty-handed. He put it back. But he'd picked it up, looked at it, maybe showed it to Amanda. Maybe they laughed about it. My hands are shaking now, but I keep clicking through files. September, October, November, December. The pattern continues. Tuesdays and Thursdays when I work late. Friday afternoons when I have meetings. The occasional Wednesday lunch slot. Then I find January 15th of this year. The timestamp shows 4:23 p.m. A Thursday. I was supposed to work late that night, but the client canceled last minute. I came home early, around 6:30 if I remember right. I watched the video. 4:23 p.m., he walks past heading toward the bedroom. 4:56 p.m., back toward the stairs. 5:34 p.m., toward the bedroom again. 5:58 p.m., he walks past pulling on his jacket, moving fast. 6:02 p.m., Amanda appears in the hallway. She's changed clothes. I can see she's wearing different colors than earlier. Her hair is different too. Wet, maybe. Like she just showered. 6:04 p.m. She walks past again, this time carrying an armful of bedding. She was changing the sheets, erasing the evidence. I got home at 6:30. She was in the laundry room when I arrived, washing a load of towels and sheets. "Just freshening things up," she'd said. I'd kissed her on the cheek and gone to play with the girls. He'd been gone less than 30 minutes. I lean back in my chair, staring at the ceiling. The house is quiet. Amanda's asleep in the guest room. She's been sleeping there since our conversation about needing space. The girls are asleep in their rooms. Everything looks normal, peaceful. But I have 15 months of video evidence showing exactly how not normal things have been. I create a new folder on my encrypted drive. Start downloading the relevant files. Every date that matches my late nights. Every Friday afternoon. Every suspicious timestamp. The downloads will take hours. I set them running and open a new spreadsheet. This one is titled Nursery Cam Evidence. I start logging every instance, every timestamp, every detail I can extract from the footage. Time in, time out, duration of visits, patterns, frequencies. By 2:30 a.m., I have 47 documented instances of Justin Wheeler in my house. 47 times I can prove with video evidence, time-stamped and cloud verified. And these are just the times he happened to walk past the nursery. How many other times was he here when he didn't need to use the bathroom? How many afternoons did they spend in the living room, the kitchen, the guest bedroom on the other side of the house? I pull up the burner phone photos again, the ones I photographed before putting the phone back in Amanda's gym bag. I compare the metadata timestamps to my new video log. March 3rd. Photo taken in our bedroom at 3:47 p.m. Video shows him arriving at 3:23 p.m., leaving at 5:15 p.m. March 24th. Photo in our kitchen at 2:15 p.m. Video shows him walking past at 2:07 p.m. and 3:34 p.m. April 7th. Photo in our living room at 4:05 p.m. Video confirms his presence from 3:45 p.m. to 5:48 p.m. The evidence aligns perfectly. The burner phone photos, the video footage, my work schedule, Amanda's carefully tracked movements. It all fits together like a balance sheet that finally reconciles. I hear a sound in the hallway and freeze. Footsteps. Light ones. Daddy? Emma appears in the doorway, rubbing her eyes. She's wearing her purple pajamas, the ones with the unicorns. I minimize the windows on my screen. Hey, sweetheart. What are you doing up? I had a bad dream. She walks over, and I pull her onto my lap. She's getting so big. 7 years old next month. Want to talk about it? She shakes her head against my chest. Is Mommy still sick? What makes you think Mommy's sick? She's sleeping in the wrong room again. And she was crying yesterday when she thought I couldn't hear. I close my eyes. Hold my daughter closer. Mommy's going through some stuff right now, but it's going to be okay. Are you and Mommy going to get divorced? The question hits like a physical blow. What do you know about divorce? Kelsey's parents got divorced. Now she has 2 houses. She says it's not so bad once you get used to it. I should lie, reassure her, tell her everything's fine. But I'm done with lies. I don't know yet, baby. Maybe. But whatever happens, you and Lily are going to be okay. I promise you that. She nods against my chest. Can I sleep in here with you? Of course. I carry her to the couch in the corner of my office, the one I sometimes nap on during busy season. I grab a blanket from the closet and tuck her in. Within minutes, she's asleep again. I return to my desk. The downloads are still running. 67% complete. I open my email and start composing a message to my attorney, Gerald Foster. The subject line reads, Additional evidence, time sensitive. I attach the video files that have already downloaded. Explain what they show. Request an emergency meeting for tomorrow. Then I sit back and watch the progress bar creep toward 100%, listening to my daughter's peaceful breathing, and wait for morning. I'm sitting in the nursery at 3:47 a.m. on Thursday morning, watching footage from September 14th. The date sticks because it's Emma's birthday. Justin Wheeler walked into my house at 1:23 p.m. that afternoon. He left at 4:47 p.m., 3 hours and 24 minutes. Amanda had scheduled Emma's party for 5:30 p.m. at that trampoline place in Buckhead, the one Emma had been talking about for weeks. I'd taken a half day to help set up, arrived home at 5 p.m. to find Amanda in the kitchen, showered and dressed, frosting cupcakes like she'd been there all afternoon. She'd been with him 90 minutes before frosting our daughter's birthday cupcakes. I watch her on the monitor at 4:51 p.m., walking past the nursery with an armload of sheets. the same brisk, efficient stride she uses when she's running late. She'd stripped the bed, showered, remade it with fresh sheets, and started baking. All in 13 minutes. The sick feeling in my chest has evolved into something colder, more clinical. I pull up my calendar from September 14th. I'd sent Amanda a text at 3:15 p.m. "Leaving office now? Need me to grab anything?" She'd responded immediately, "Just yourself. Can't wait to celebrate our big girl." He was still in our house when she sent that. I create a new spreadsheet. Column A, date. Column B, time Justin arrived. Column C, time Justin left. Column D, duration. Column E, what I was doing. Column F, notable details. September 14th goes in row 1. Emma's birthday party in column F. I scroll through August. There, August 19th. He arrives at 2:17 p.m. The timestamp in column E makes my hand stop on the keyboard. I was at Lily's parent-teacher conference at her preschool. Amanda had said she couldn't make it because of a dentist appointment. I'd sat alone in those tiny chairs, listening to Miss Roberts explain that Lily was excelling at sharing, while Justin Wheeler was in my bedroom. The appointment I'd actually felt guilty about. I'd apologized to Amanda that evening for her missing it. I add it to the spreadsheet. July 23rd. He's there from 11:04 a.m. to 2:38 p.m. I check my calendar. I was at the firm's mandatory compliance training. Amanda knew about it for weeks. It was on our shared family calendar. She'd even reminded me that morning not to forget it. Row 3. I work backwards through the footage, building the spreadsheet with the same methodical precision I use for audits. Each entry is a small, precise knife wound. The data accumulates. The pattern crystallizes. She didn't just use my predictable late nights. She used everything. Client dinners. Weekend golf tournaments. Emma's soccer games that Amanda claimed to be too tired to attend. Every time I was reliably somewhere else, documented on our shared calendar, Justin Wheeler was in my house. By 5:30 a.m., I have 63 entries. 63 times I can prove with video evidence. The earliest is March 3rd, 7 months ago. He stays for an average of 2 hours and 47 minutes. I do the math. 176 hours. 7.3 days. My wife spent more than a full week with her lover in our home. The baby monitor footage only goes back 15 months because I upgraded the system last February. Before that, we had an audio-only monitor. No cloud storage, no video archive. How long before March 3rd? How many times in our bed before she got careless enough to do it where a camera might catch a glimpse? My phone buzzes. A text from Andrew Cobb, my attorney. Conference room B, 9 a.m. Bring everything. I look at the clock. 3 hours and 13 minutes. I export the spreadsheet, add it to the growing folder on my laptop labeled Patterson v. Patterson. The burner phone screenshots, the credit card statements, the hotel receipts. Now this, a precise time-stamped record of every instance I can prove. The house is quiet. Amanda's still in the guest room. The girls are asleep. This is the last morning I'll wake up in this house as a married man who doesn't know what comes next. By tonight, I'll have filed. I should shower. Change. Eat something. Instead, I open one more file. The metadata from the photos on the burner phone. I haven't looked at this yet. I've been focused on the messages and the video footage. But photos have location data if you know where to look. I pull up the first one. It's from the gym, dated April 12th. The EXIF data shows it was taken at Gold's Gym on Roswell Road at 6:47 a.m. Amanda's in workout clothes, Justin behind her in the mirror, his hands on her waist. The caption she sent with it, "Best part of morning cardio." I'd been home that morning. I'd made Emma's lunch while Amanda was at the gym. She'd come home at 8:15 a.m., kissed me, said the endorphins had her feeling great. The next photo is dated April 19th. Same location, 6:52 a.m. Another mirror selfie. His hands are higher this time. I scroll through them. There are 47 photos total, 23 taken at the gym, 11 at the Marriott on Peachtree, 4 at a restaurant I don't recognize. The metadata says it's a place called Tributary in Brookhaven. 9 are taken in my house. I know which ones before I open them. I can feel it. The first is from our bedroom July 30th, 1:43 p.m. Amanda's in our bed, sheet pulled up, smiling at the camera. The photo is taken from above, Justin's perspective. Our wedding photo is visible on the nightstand behind her, slightly out of focus. The second is from the same day, same angle. The sheet is lower. I close the file. I don't need to see the rest. The metadata is enough. 9 photos, 9 dates, 9 times she documented it. Like she wanted proof it happened. Like the thrill was worth the risk. Or maybe she just didn't think I'd ever find out. The irony settles over me like a familiar coat. I built a career on finding discrepancies, on noticing what doesn't add up. I can spot a misallocated expense from 3 years ago in a 1,000-page audit. I can find the one transaction that doesn't match the pattern. But I couldn't see this. Not until a phone tumbled out of the dryer at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. My phone buzzes again. Another text from Andrew. Also bringing in Valerie Kent, forensic accountant, best in the state for asset discovery. I text back, good. Because there's something else I found last night, buried in the credit card statements. A charge to a financial services company I don't recognize. $2,000 withdrawn on August 3rd from our joint savings account. The memo line says, consultation fee. Amanda doesn't consult with financial services companies. She doesn't even balance her own checkbook. That's always been my job. I pull up our savings account history. There are 3 more withdrawals. July 15th, $1,500. August 22nd, $2,000. September 9th, $2,500. $7,000 gone from our savings. All to the same company, Brightwater Financial Solutions. I Google them. The website is sleek, professional. They specialize in discrete asset management and financial planning. The kind of place you go when you want to move money quietly. The kind of place you go when you're planning to leave your husband but want to make sure you're taken care of first. I add it to the folder. Another piece of evidence. Another layer of deception. At 7:15 a.m., I hear movement upstairs. The girls are awake. Emma's door opens, then her footsteps on the stairs. I close the laptop and stand up, my back stiff from hours in the nursery rocking chair. Daddy? Emma's voice from the hallway. Why are you in Lily's room? Couldn't sleep, I say. Wanted to check on you guys. She looks at me with those 2 observant 7-year-old eyes. Is mommy still in the guest room? Yeah, sweetheart. Are you getting divorced? The question hits like a physical blow. We're working through some things. That means yes, she says. Not a question, a statement. I don't lie to her. Probably, yeah. She nods, processing this. Can I still have my sleepover at Zoe's on Saturday? The mundane question in the middle of everything falling apart almost makes me laugh. Of course. Okay. She turns to go, then looks back. Daddy? I'm glad you're the one staying. She disappears down the hall before I can respond. I stand there for a long moment, then check my watch. 7:23 a.m. 1 hour and 37 minutes until I walk into Andrew Cobb's office and start the formal process of dismantling my marriage. I head downstairs to make breakfast for my daughters. The law offices of Cobb & Associates occupy the 23rd floor of a glass tower on Peachtree. I arrive at 8:45 a.m. with 2 thumb drives, a leather portfolio containing printed statements, and the baby monitor's base station tucked under my arm. Andrew Cobb's assistant, a woman in her 50s with silver hair and kind eyes, offers me coffee. I accept because my hands need something to do. The cup rattles slightly against the saucer when I set it down on the conference room table. David. Andrew enters at precisely 9 o'clock, followed by a woman carrying a laptop. This is Rebecca Walsh, our forensic accountant. She's going to help us understand what your wife's been doing with your money. Rebecca's handshake is firm. She's younger than I expected, maybe 35, with dark-rimmed glasses and the focused expression of someone who finds patterns in chaos for a living. I recognize a kindred spirit. Let's see what we have. Andrew gestures to the chair at the head of the table. I start with the burner phone evidence, walking them through the timeline. Rebecca takes notes on her laptop, occasionally asking for clarification on dates. Andrew's expression remains neutral, professional, but I catch the slight tightening around his eyes when I mention Justin being present on Emma's birthday. The video footage is the real story, I say, connecting the baby monitor base to the conference room's display system. 15 months of archived recordings. The camera angle catches part of the hallway. I've prepared a compilation, just the relevant clips, time-stamped and organized. The first one shows Justin walking past the nursery doorway at 1:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. He's wearing gym clothes, carrying a duffel bag. The timestamp in the corner is from 13 months ago. That's during Lily's nap time, I explain. Amanda always said she was sacred about protecting that schedule. The next clip, Justin again, this time in jeans and a t-shirt, visible for 3 seconds as he passes the doorway. 10:23 a.m. on a Thursday. The metadata shows it's the same day I was in Birmingham for the Hartwell audit. How many instances total? Rebecca asks. 63 where he's visible on camera. But the metadata shows something else. I pull up the file structure on my laptop, mirroring it to the display. See these gaps? The camera has a motion sensor feature that starts recording when it detects movement. These gaps, I highlight several multi-hour periods. They're too long, too consistent. Rebecca leans forward. You think she was turning it off? I think she was careful most of the time. These 63 instances are the ones where she forgot, or where he walked past before she could disable it. I do the math out loud. If the visible instances represent even 20% of actual visits, we're looking at over 300 times he was in my house. Andrew makes a note. The court will find this compelling, especially the instances involving the children. I show them Emma's birthday footage. Justin appears at 2:14 p.m., clearly visible for 5 seconds as he walks past carrying what looks like a gift bag. The timestamp burns in the corner. March 15th. Emma's 7th birthday. I was at the office finishing the Pemberton Quarterly Review. Amanda told me she kept the party small that year, I say. My voice sounds flat, distant. Just family. She said Emma wanted it that way? Rebecca's jaw tightens. She has kids, I remember Andrew mentioning. 2 boys. Let's talk about Brightwater Financial Solutions. Andrew slides a legal pad toward me. Walk me through what you found. I outline the withdrawals. $7,000 over 4 months, taken in irregular amounts. Never enough to trigger the bank's automatic alerts for our account tier, but consistent enough to establish a pattern. Brightwater specializes in asset concealment, Rebecca says, typing rapidly. Legal asset concealment, technically. They help clients establish trusts, offshore accounts, investment vehicles that are difficult to trace in divorce proceedings. She looks up. They're expensive. $7,000 wouldn't get you much of their time. Initial consultation fees, I suggest. Planning stages. Possibly. Rebecca pulls up something on her laptop. I'll need access to all your financial records, joint accounts, individual accounts, credit cards, investment portfolios, retirement funds, everything. I slide one of the thumb drives across the table. Everything from the last 3 years, organized by account type and date. She plugs it in, eyebrows rising as she scans the file structure. This is extremely thorough. I'm an accountant. The bitter edge in my voice surprises me. Thoroughness is what I do. Andrew flips through the printed statements I've brought. These hotel charges, the Marriott on Spring Street. Always the same location? Always. Tuesdays and Thursdays. My late nights at the office. She had a system. I pull up the credit card statement on the display. See the pattern? The hotel charge appears within an hour of charges at Bones or Ray's on the river. She was establishing alibis. Dinner with friends, she'd say. Book club. Yoga class followed by drinks. But she was paying for hotel rooms. Rebecca's fingers fly across her keyboard. Rooms she wasn't staying in overnight. Afternoon rates, 3 to 4 hours. I've done this math already, lying awake at 3 a.m. while Amanda slept in the guest room. Checkout was always before I got home. Andrew leans back in his chair. Georgia is a no-fault divorce state, but adultery still matters for alimony and asset division. This level of documentation, the systematic deception, the financial planning, the presence of the paramour in the family home around your children, it builds a strong case for fault-based grounds. I want full custody, I say. Primary physical custody at minimum. Given the evidence of her bringing her lover into the home, that's achievable. Andrew makes another note. We'll argue that her judgment regarding the children's welfare is compromised. The court takes a dim view of exposing children to affairs, especially in the family home. Rebecca looks up from her laptop. David, I need to ask you something. Your firm, Patterson and Levy, you're a named partner? Senior partner. Why? Because if Amanda was consulting with Brightwater, she was getting advice on how to maximize her share of marital assets. That includes your partnership stake. Rebecca's expression is serious. They would have told her that in Georgia, your partnership interest is marital property subject to division. If she's been planning this, she's been planning to go after your stake in the firm. The coffee turns to acid in my stomach. Patterson and Levy isn't just my career. It's my grandfather's legacy. He founded it in 1967. My father expanded it. I've spent 20 years building it into one of Atlanta's premier accounting firms. She can't, I start. She can try, Andrew interrupts. Whether she succeeds is another matter. But Rebecca's right. If Brightwater was advising her, that's exactly what they'd recommend. Go after the partnership, the retirement accounts, the house, everything. Maximize leverage for settlement negotiations. I think about Amanda in the guest room, playing the victim. Amanda who cried when I confronted her, who begged for another chance. Amanda who's apparently been planning to gut me financially for months. What's our timeline? I ask. Andrew pulls out a calendar. I'll file the petition tomorrow. She'll be served within 48 hours. We'll request temporary orders for custody and support at the initial hearing. Given your documentation, I'm confident we can get you primary physical custody pending the final decree. How long until final? 6 to 8 months if she contests, less if she accepts a settlement. He meets my eyes. But David, with this level of planning on her part, she's going to fight. Brightwater doesn't come cheap. She's invested in this strategy. Rebecca closes her laptop. I'll need a few days to trace the Brightwater payments and see if I can identify where that money went. If she's been hiding assets, I'll find them. But I have to warn you, if she's been working with professionals, they're good at making things disappear. Find it anyway, I say, whatever it takes. There's something else we need to discuss, Andrew says. The house. Who's staying? Who's leaving? It's my house. The words come out harder than I intend. My grandfather's wedding gift to my parents. They signed it over to me when they moved to Hilton Head. Amanda's name isn't on the deed. Andrew's eyebrows rise. She's not on the deed? No. It was always understood as family property. Patterson family property. Rebecca and Andrew exchange glances. That changes things, Rebecca says. Significantly. If the house is your separate property, established before the marriage, it was. My parents transferred the deed 6 months before Amanda and I got engaged. Andrew actually smiles. Then she has no claim to it. The house is yours, free and clear. Something loosens in my chest. Not relief exactly, but a small victory in the middle of the carnage. What do I do now? I ask. Go home. Maintain the status quo until she's served. Don't move out. Don't change the locks. Don't cut off her access to money. We do this by the book. Andrew stands, extending his hand. But start thinking about what you want your life to look like when this is over. Because you're going to win, David. She's handed us everything we need. I shake his hand, then Rebecca's. The conference room suddenly feels too small, the air too thin. One more thing, I say at the door. The baby monitor footage. There's audio, too. Andrew pauses. Audio of what? I haven't listened to it yet. I couldn't. I stop, swallow. But it's there. 15 months of audio from the nursery and hallway. Rebecca's expression shifts to something like pity. David, maybe don't listen to that. Let us review it. If there's anything relevant. No. The word comes out sharp. I need to know. All of it. Because that's what this is now. An audit of my marriage, my life, my fundamental understanding of reality. And I've never left an audit incomplete. The video player sits frozen on my screen. Timestamp 3:47 p.m., the day of Emma's birthday party. Justin Wheeler's face fills the frame. He'd walked right past the nursery door, close enough that I can see the goddamn dimple in his chin. He's carrying something. I zoom in, enhance the image. A bakery box. The sick feeling in my stomach intensifies. I pull up my phone, scroll back through photos from that day. There it is. Emma blowing out candles on a chocolate cake with pink frosting. Amanda had told me she picked it up from Sweet Hut on the way back from the gym. The gym where Justin works. I close the video file and open the spreadsheet Rebecca helped me create. 63 confirmed instances. But that number keeps growing. I've only reviewed footage from days I knew I was out of the house. Client meetings, conferences, the Hilton Head trip last August. There are hundreds of hours left to analyze. My phone buzzes. Andrew Cobb. David, good news. The PI finished his preliminary report. I lean back in my desk chair. That was fast. Justin Wheeler makes it easy. Kid posts everything on social media. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the works. Andrew's tone carries a hint of satisfaction. He's tagged at our gym 47 times in the past year. Amanda's in the background of at least a dozen photos. Public photos? Public photos, including one from 3 months ago where they're clearly holding hands by the smoothie bar. Caption reads, "Best workout partner ever," with a heart emoji. I close my eyes. Send me everything. Already did. Check your secure folder. He pauses. There's more. Wheeler's been posting about moving to a new apartment. Nicer place from the looks of it. 1 bedroom in Midtown, probably runs $1,500 a month. His gym salary is maybe $30,000 a year. The implication hangs in the air. You think Amanda's been giving him money? I think it's worth investigating. Rebecca's already pulling Amanda's personal account records. If there's a pattern of large cash withdrawals or transfers, we'll find it. After we hang up, I open the secure folder. The PI's report is thorough. 43 pages of surveillance photos, social media screenshots, and timeline analysis. Justin Wheeler's Instagram is a masterclass in narcissism. Shirtless gym selfies, protein shake endorsements, motivational quotes superimposed over sunset photos. And there, Buried in the feed from last November, a photo of Amanda. She's laughing, head thrown back, sunlight catching her auburn hair. They're at Piedmont Park. I recognize the skyline in the background. The caption, "When your favorite client becomes your favorite person." Posted November 12th. I check my records. November 12th was a Saturday. I'd taken Emma to her soccer game that morning, then spent the afternoon helping my dad fix his deck. Amanda said she was meeting her book club. The book club that doesn't exist. I'd verified that 2 days ago, called every woman she claimed was in it. None of them had heard of any book club. I scroll through more photos. There's a pattern I hadn't noticed before. Every few weeks, Justin posts a photo of some new thing. Wireless headphones, a leather jacket, designer sneakers. All expensive. All beyond his means. My phone buzzes again. Rebecca this time. "Found something," she says without preamble. Amanda's been making regular transfers to a Venmo account. Started small, $50 here, $100 there. But in the past 4 months, she's sent nearly $3,000. To Wheeler? The account name is just initials, JW, but the pattern matches up with his Instagram posts. New headphones on March 3rd. Amanda sent $200 on March 1st. Leather jacket on April 15th. She sent $350 on April 12th. I pull up my own Venmo history. Amanda has access to our joint account, but these transfers aren't showing up. What account is she using? That's the interesting part. She opened a separate checking account at SunTrust last October. Been depositing cash, $500 here, $700 there. Total of about $12,000 over 6 months. Where's she getting the cash? Still working on that. But I have a theory. Rebecca's voice takes on that edge she gets when she's onto something. Your joint account shows regular ATM withdrawals. 200 every Friday like clockwork. Been happening for years, right? She uses it for groceries, the farmer's market, cash-only places. Right. Except I pulled the grocery receipts from your records. She's spending maybe $100 a week on actual groceries. The rest is going somewhere else. The math is simple. $100 a week over 6 months is $2,600. Add in the $7,000 to Brightwater, the $3,000 to Justin, and suddenly we're talking about real money. She's been skimming from household expenses, I say, for at least 6 months, probably longer. I'm requesting records going back 2 years. If the pattern holds, we could be looking at $30,000, $40,000. After Rebecca hangs up, I sit in the silence of my home office. The house feels different now. Every room holds some new betrayal. The kitchen where she'd kissed me goodbye before meeting Justin. The bedroom where she'd slept beside me after spending the afternoon in his arms. The nursery where our daughter sleeps, unaware that the camera meant to keep her safe, had instead documented her mother's deception. I open the audio files folder. 15 months of recordings, organized by date. I've been avoiding these. Video footage is one thing, silent evidence of comings and goings. But audio means I'll hear their voices. Hear what they said in my house, in my hallway, mere feet from where my children slept. I select a file at random. August 17th, 2:15 p.m. I'd been at the Patterson and Levy summer retreat that day. Team-building exercises at Lake Lanier. The audio quality is better than I expected. I hear the nursery door open, Amanda checking on Lily during her nap. Then footsteps in the hallway. Amanda's voice, low and warm in a way I haven't heard directed at me in months. "She's still asleep. We have maybe an hour," a male voice responds. "Your house is nice, lot nicer than my place." "David works hard," a pause. "Worked hard, I mean. Now he just works late." His loss. The sound of kissing. I force myself to keep listening. "Come on," Amanda says. "Bedroom's this way." Their footsteps fade. I sit frozen, headphones still on, listening to the ambient sounds of my house. The air conditioner cycling on. A car passing outside. The faint creak of bed springs from down the hall. I rip the headphones off. The time on my computer reads 11:47 p.m. I've been at this for 6 hours. My eyes burn. My neck aches. But I can't stop. Every file I open reveals something new. Every piece of evidence adds another layer to the betrayal. My phone buzzes. A text from Andrew. Process server will deliver papers tomorrow at 3 p.m. Amanda will be served at the house. You should plan to be elsewhere. I text back, I'll be at the office. Another message appears. Rebecca wants to meet Thursday morning. Says she found something in the Brightwater records. I set the phone down and open another video file. This one from January 14th, a Tuesday. I'd been in meetings all day, preparing for tax season. The timestamp reads 11:23 a.m. Justin enters the frame, but this time he's not alone. Amanda's with him, and she's talking on her phone. I turn up the volume. Told you, Mom. Everything's fine. David's just busy with work. Her voice is bright, cheerful. No, we're not fighting. I don't know where you got that idea. She's lying to her own mother while her lover stands 3 feet away. I should go, Amanda continues. Lily's about to wake up from her nap. Love you too. She ends the call and immediately turns to Justin. The transformation is instant. Her whole body language changes. She moves into his arms, tilts her face up for a kiss. Sorry about that, she says. My mom's been asking questions. About us? About everything. She thinks something's wrong because David and I haven't been posting couple photos on Facebook. Amanda laughs. I told her we're just busy. When are you going to tell him? The question stops me cold. I rewind, play it again. When are you going to tell him? Amanda steps back, and I can see her face clearly now. She looks uncertain, younger than her 39 years. Soon, she says. I'm waiting for the right time. You've been saying that for months. I know, but it's complicated. The girls, the house, his family's money. She trails off. The lawyer said I need to be strategic. What lawyer? The one I've been seeing, at Brightwater. My hands are shaking. I pause the video, grab my phone, and call Andrew. It's nearly midnight, but he answers on the second ring. I've got her on tape, I say. Talking about Brightwater. Talking about being strategic with the divorce. She was planning this. Send me the file. I email it while we're still on the phone. I hear Andrew's computer chime as he receives it. This is gold, David. Premeditation, planning, consultation with a financial advisor about concealing assets. Combined with the affair evidence and the financial records Rebecca's building, Amanda's not going to have a leg to stand on. Good. Get some sleep. We serve papers tomorrow, and after that, things are going to move fast. But I don't sleep. I keep watching videos, listening to audio files, building my case with the same methodical precision I use for audits. By the time the sun rises, I've documented 89 instances of Justin in my house. 89 times my wife brought her lover into our home, around our children, into our bed. The irony isn't lost on me. I'd installed the baby monitor to keep my daughter safe. Instead, it had captured evidence of how thoroughly their mother had dismantled their family. At 2:47 p.m. the next day, I'm sitting in my office at Patterson and Levy when my phone rings. Unknown number. Mr. Patterson, this is Dale Mitchell with Apex Process Service. I've just served the divorce papers to your wife. How did she react? A pause. She seemed surprised. Asked if there was some mistake. I almost laugh. After everything, the burner phone, the affair, the financial planning, the 89 documented instances, she's surprised. No mistake, I say. She asked me to tell you she wants to talk. She can talk to her lawyer. I hang up and stare out my office window at the Atlanta skyline. Somewhere out there, Amanda is reading through the divorce petition, reading the grounds, adultery, reading my demand for primary custody, reading the attachment that lists, in excruciating detail, every piece of evidence I've compiled. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. "David, please. We need to talk. This doesn't have to be like this." She got a new phone. Of course she did. The burner's still in Andrew's safe. I block the number and get back to work. The judge's gavel came down on September 23rd, 8 months after I found that burner phone in the dryer. The courtroom was nearly empty. Just me, Andrew, Amanda, and her attorney, and a court reporter whose fingers never stopped moving across her machine. Judge Patricia Reynolds had reviewed everything. The videos, the audio files, the financial records Rebecca had spent months untangling. She'd seen the photos of Justin Wheeler walking past my daughter's nursery. She'd read the transcripts of Amanda discussing divorce strategy while her lover stood in our hallway. "Mrs. Patterson," Judge Reynolds had said, her voice carrying the weight of 30 years on the bench. "I've presided over more than 2,000 divorce cases. I have never seen such a calculated, systematic deception." Amanda's attorney tried to argue. Something about reconciliation, about mistakes, about how Amanda deserved a fair division of assets. Judge Reynolds cut him off. "Your client brought her paramour into the marital home 89 documented times. She exposed the minor children to this relationship. She systematically concealed assets while planning to maximize her claim to Mr. Patterson's separate property and business interests." The judge looked directly at Amanda. "The court finds these actions demonstrate a pattern of behavior fundamentally incompatible with the best interests of the children. Primary physical custody? Mine. The house? Mine. It had always been separate property anyway, but the judge made it explicit. Amanda's claim to my partnership stake? Denied. Her request for alimony? Denied, based on adultery and financial misconduct. She got supervised visitation every other weekend, pending completion of counseling. She got her car, her personal belongings, and half of our joint savings. What was left after Rebecca traced the money Amanda had funneled to Brightwater and Justin Wheeler. Turned out Amanda had given Justin nearly $18,000 over 8 months. The Midtown apartment, the designer clothes, the new car he'd posted about in July, all financed by my wife skimming from household expenses and hiding cash in that SunTrust account. Rebecca found all of it. Every transfer, every withdrawal, every lie documented in black and white. Amanda tried to speak to me after the hearing. I walked past her like she was a stranger, because that's what she was now. The woman I'd married 11 years ago wouldn't have done any of this. That woman, if she'd ever existed, was gone. 2 years later, I'm standing in the kitchen of the same house, making pancakes for Emma and Lily on a Saturday morning. The backsplash is different. I had it replaced 6 months after the divorce. Couldn't look at it anymore without seeing that photo from the burner phone. Emma's 9 now, Lily's 5. They've adjusted better than I expected. Kids are resilient like that. They see Amanda every other weekend, no longer supervised after she completed her counseling. The visits are cordial but distant. Emma told me last month that it feels weird at her mom's apartment, like visiting someone she used to know. I don't encourage that distance, but I don't discourage it either. I just make sure they know they're loved, that they're safe, that our home is stable. Amanda remarried last spring. Not Justin. That relationship imploded within 3 months of our separation, right around the time his Instagram posts stopped featuring expensive new purchases. She married an insurance adjuster named Kevin. Seems like a decent enough guy from what the girls say. I hope it works out for her. Not for her sake, but for theirs. Justin Wheeler moved to Charlotte. I know because Emma mentioned seeing him in one of her mom's Facebook photos, visiting from out of state. I felt nothing when she said it. No anger, no bitterness. Just the mild interest you'd have in hearing about a stranger. The firm's doing well. Better than well, actually. We landed 3 major clients in the past year. I made Rebecca Walsh a consultant on retainer. Her forensic accounting skills have proven invaluable for our corporate clients. Andrew Cobb and I play golf twice a month. We don't talk about the divorce anymore. I date occasionally. Nothing serious. Emma asked me last month if I was going to get married again. I told her maybe someday, but I wasn't in a rush. She seemed satisfied with that answer. The house still holds memories, but they're fading. New ones are taking their place. Emma's 9th birthday party here last month. 20 kids, a bounce house in the backyard, chaos and laughter. Lily's preschool graduation in the living room. Me and 12 other parents crammed onto folding chairs. Movie nights on the couch. The 3 of us under blankets, eating popcorn. Sometimes I think about that night in the laundry room. The phone buzzing against the concrete floor at 2:47 a.m. How one moment can split your life into before and after. I don't regret finding it. I regret that there was something to find. But here's what I've learned. You can't control other people's choices. You can only control your response. Amanda chose deception. She chose to betray our marriage, our family, our children's trust. Those were her decisions, and she lives with the consequences. I chose to face the truth head-on, to document, to prepare, to protect my daughters and myself, to walk through the fire instead of pretending it wasn't burning. And on the other side, I found something unexpected. Not happiness exactly. Not yet. But peace. The kind that comes from knowing you did the right thing, even when it was the hardest thing. Emma comes into the kitchen, still in her pajamas. Dad, can Zoe come over after soccer practice? Sure, sweetheart. And can we have tacos for dinner? We can have tacos for dinner. She grins and runs back upstairs to tell her sister. I flip the pancakes, listening to their voices overhead. Planning their day, arguing over who gets to pick the movie tonight, living their lives with the uncomplicated certainty that this house, this family, is solid ground beneath their feet. That's what I saved. Not my marriage. That was already dead. I just didn't know it. But this. The ordinary Saturday morning, the chocolate chip pancakes, the certainty that when my daughters come downstairs, I'll be here. Some people would say I'm lucky, that finding that phone was fortunate timing. But luck implies chance, and there was nothing random about what I did afterward. I made choices. Difficult, deliberate choices to face reality instead of hiding from it. The truth is often brutal. It strips away illusions, shatters comfortable lies, forces you to see things you'd rather ignore. But it also sets you free. Free from deception, from false hope, from building your life on a foundation of sand. I learned that trust isn't about believing people will never hurt you. It's about knowing yourself well enough to survive when they do. It's about having the strength to walk away from what's broken instead of pretending it's whole. The pancakes are ready. I plate them up, add chocolate chips and smiley faces like I used to do when Emma was little. She's probably too old for that now, but she still smiles when she sees them. Girls, breakfast! They thunder down the stairs, a chaos of laughter and energy, and suddenly the kitchen is full of life again. Real life. Honest life. The kind built on truth instead of lies. And that, I've learned, is worth everything.